EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Opening play, and Stroud will throw it. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Stroud. That'll be caught right side by the rookie receiver. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here's Stroud. That's caught again by Schultz. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Mixing up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Stroud sets up the play action. Throw right side, taken in by Collins. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey, and he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This now a 3rd and 4. Throwing Nix. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stroud looking to throw. Open man is Higgins. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Stroud off the play fake. Looking sideline, incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
3rd and 5. Stroud out of the gun here. That is caught. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 40. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Stroud to throw it. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now Stroud. This one complete to Christian Kirk. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. Throwing now is Stroud. Throw left side to Higgins. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 4. Play action. Here's Stroud. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
And that's a wise decision. Remember, he threw the pick on the last drive. This time he says, I'm not forcing one. I'm just getting it out of here.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. The throwing again is Stroud. Over the middle, complete. It's Higgins. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Nix to the air. And this one into the hands of Ingram downfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Another run here with Dobbins. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Here is 3rd down and 4. Here's Nix. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And he missed it. It's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground to about the 48-yard line.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. On a slant, here's Collins. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And Stroud now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath, sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Stroud. He's got it to Collins, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 33 yards. And the Texans add 6 to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Denver's offense ready to go again. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Nix. This one complete. It's Devon Vele. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw, here's Nix. Trucks over him. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll go play action with Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this second quarter. They're moving it pretty good, and that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8. Nix from the shotgun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And 3rd and 1 now. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Nix. And he's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space, because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton from 3 yards out. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans back out there and ready to go. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Stroud working out of the gun. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
That's complete. It's Collins. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Mixon with a first down carry. He's got it to the 43 here. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Here's Stroud. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Texans on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Stroud looking to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jordan. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this. Back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Chubb. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Mixon. Diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. Throwing, Nix. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as he'll get this up to the 39. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Nix to throw again. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram, and he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Here's Nix once more. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. From the 5, 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun is Nix. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And now it's 3rd and 3. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Lutz is good, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half, Stroud. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Second and 2. Throw left side complete. That's Sutton. And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as he'll be taken down at the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. A short throw to Ingram. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They go back to the ground with Dobbins, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Nix to the air. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here's Nix. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll bring a tight end in motion. Dobbins is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Evan Ingram, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this 2nd half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Stroud off the play fake. That'll be pulled in downfield by Collins. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 27 yards there, a 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 3. Mixon will try the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have taken the lead. So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this third quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
The touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The 23-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up. And that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Now it's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Dobbins running out of the gun. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now a handoff up the middle. Harvey. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's a give to Dobbins. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 43 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. To throw, here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
first down marker at the 31. It's third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. The Texans send the punter out as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on second down.
2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Nix.
Throw left side, complete to Troutman.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Nix from the shotgun.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Up the middle they go. It's Harvey, and he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
To throw is Nix.
A short throw to Ingram. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And out of bounds right around the 20. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He'll connect on the out route with Ingram.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play.
Back to the air with Nix.
And it's caught. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mouth.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Throwing quickly, this is caught by Kirk.
He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Stroud looking to throw.
This pass complete to Higgins. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Throwing now is Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Mixing up the middle. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Again, it's Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Throwing, Nix.
Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he goes out right around the 39.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down and a yard. Off the play fake, Nix.
Open man, and again it's Sutton. And he's brought down. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Nix to the air. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there.
Now a handoff for Dobbins. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 61 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram.
And out of bounds right around the 20.
From the 20, here's 2nd and 5.
Back to throw. Nix. Now he steps away. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. 26 yards.
And the Broncos have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Houston's offense taking over again. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Now Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Stroud to throw it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So Stroud and the Texans
down 31-27. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the attention turns to the Texans, trailing by 4. A minute 15 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now 2nd and 4. Stroud.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon.
And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a 1st down.
Now Stroud. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Broncos have just about sewn up this football game.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And they'll indeed take a knee. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long from Houston.